And when we proved it right. So that's why, you know, when we see you guys Vogue and you don't have the personality or it's not there, it's because you don't feel it. It's not a feeling for you. It's just, it's a move.
Right, it's a dance, it's a regular
dance.
When you just said something about proving, like I was voguing for like since '99, and I never told my family about me voguing because I felt like they wouldn't really respect the voguing because they would be so much worried about what I'm wearing, my outfits. Why do I have on booty shorts? Why do I have on bustiers? And it took for me to like travel and actually start booking gigs for them to respect what I was doing and respect me voguing and kind of more take it seriously because I felt like they just didn't they were so much more into the outfits that they really didn't pay attention to what I was doing.
And another thing, probably because they didn't want to see you moving feminine.
That's it.
It was their own prejudice against it as well.
So, and the funny thing is, I know you guys struggle, but I don't think you know you guys struggle. And the funny thing is, you guys struggle because what we see from the inside looking out is that there's a different culture trying to do something that we've been doing for so many years. But what we don't know, and I say we because a part of America, a lot of people in our culture don't know that the people in Europe are not trying to take anything. What they're trying to do is experience the same love that we have for ballroom, that you have for it as well too. So your struggle is, we look at you guys like, okay, what is this? And I hate to say this, but it's like, what is this white girl doing voguing? And I'm sure some of you probably got a message or a post or a tag or a comment on one of your videos like, oh, here go another white girl, or look at this white girl doing something, da da da. And they don't understand that media appropriates ballroom. When you get to stuff like this is ballroom, because when you come to America and you walk and participate and people like you and they see your 007, the first thing we're gonna do is, oh bitch, let's go. And
Hey daughter,
I'm gonna snatch you up, I'm putting you in my house, because I know if I put you out there on the floor, we're used to seeing this type of greatness. So when we see another greatness step in that we're not used to, bitch, you're eating it. You're amazing. But then again, like I said, how we don't understand, and this is our fault as well too, and I say our because I'm a part of it as well too, because I'm a part of the American scene. Our fault is that we don't open up our minds enough to see what other people appreciate about us, and not other people about media, other people about everyone here. Everyone in Poland, Taiwan, Russia, Paris, Germany, like anywhere in the world, how you guys have the love for voguing as much as we do. We don't understand it because you haven't been through our struggle. So your struggle is different, although it's not much, because we ain't coming to you automatically like, girl, why you voguing? Girl, why you doing that? But you can see it. And it's up to you guys to let people know that I'm not coming here to take anything from you. I'm coming here to join you so we can all make this better. That's all it need to do.
Well, you should just say, I'm coming here to serve you.
No shit.
They'll understand that a lot easier.
Yeah, about this, this also has made it, because how I can explain this, this has made a really weird situation, because cultural appropriation, you have heard about it possibly. Some people have said like it's people who have take from those who haven't something. And if you think about, for example, Paris is burning, it's like the community was really small that time, and now when it has spread out here, I think it has led to new problems. For example, if there's a category, we talked about this with Dashaun just before this, if there's a category called African Princess, and if I want to enter that, you see the problem right away. I have a big problem with that, like how to enter to a category as a white female, which I know I will be doing cultural appropriation if I even enter that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think with categories and categories and stuff, sometimes categories are like fantasy. So if they ask you to bring in like an African princess, they're not really looking at you as a real African princess. That's just what you bring into the category, and you creating your own illusion of an African princess.
Yeah, for example, we have had some problems in Finland. We have a small ministry in Lapland, Sami people, and people have been using their own tribe costume in a competition in like costume party way, and that's not good way to use that. And that's why it's been the talk has been on here in Finland quite a lot, I think, for my point of view. and we've been talking about this. Actually, Olli started this conversation with. I think it's really important because it's hard to know. I think education is a key to learn enough from the other culture to pick the certain pieces you can take and certain pieces you cannot take. If you're walking a category which is very different from your culture.
So I guess it comes off a little. What you're saying is. It comes off a little disrespectful the way they're trying to present.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
And I'm gonna go for you. I would say, and it's the same thing we had talked about in discussion earlier, as far as is people not knowing. Right now, we live in a world where if someone sees something, they don't care about researching and trying to find out what's going on. The first thing they want to do is just judge it because of what they see. And this is why I say the first thing people want to go to is appropriation. And because they see someone who's not the same skin tone as them, do something that represents a specific culture. Now, yes, you know, if a tribal specific thing is a black African American woman with an afro and a tribal outfit, and a category asks for us to bring it like that. It's so weird that in America, like, we can do that and it's not a problem. But it's something done outside of America, it can't be done because they think it's appropriation, because the video became so popular because, oh my God, there's a white girl with a big afro. So this is why that same thing is about, like, it's our job to make sure, you know, and it's difficult for us as well too, to make sure our scene as a whole know that there are some people out there who are not trying to appropriate it. And it's not that. Europe is not trying to appropriate anything. But what people see off the back is like, oh my God, why is this black? Oh, here it goes again, they're taking from us. And you're there like, why are they saying this? I'm a part of the scene as well too.
But I think it's also our, like...
It's your job as well too.
Yeah, responsibility to learn and educate ourselves.
And make it very clear.
Know what we can take and where from.
Exactly.
And how we take it, like not in a costume party way. Yeah.
There's nothing taking.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to think of it as mine as taking. I want you to think of it as mine as upbringing, or like trying to help a community like yours, the ballroom European scene, and make it better and involve yourself in it. Yes. I got you next.
Just to add quickly to that, yes, but I don't think it's, well, it is also a lot about the taking and appropriation and whatnot, but more importantly, like, especially, like, so we are setting the tone for the European scene, so we all have the collective responsibility, I feel, to
police it.
I mean, to police it in a way, to call out to call the bullshit, if you will. So, for example, the Sami tribe category for the thing that you were talking about. Yes, it's a category. Yes, it's a fantasy, and you're supposed to live in a character. But in this case, cultures and tribes are not fantasy. They're real people, and that's not something that you should Native American headdress or something like that in a runway. That I think is so. It's, I guess, have to be very sensitive when it comes to coming up with these categories to define between fantasy and characters and actual cultures that are active and alive, and that's defining the line between.
We used to have a category like that. We don't really have it no more in the U.S. Remember, we used to have such and such, bring it from a foreign country or stuff like that, and we get a chance to be China.
But that's a little different.
I know, I'm just having what he's saying.
Yeah. Like
totally
when they say
different.
something like imagine if we went to Taiwan and they said bringing it as the Shang Emperor or whatever.
And we come bring it.
Not bring it. No, not even if we did our research and we came and we bought it properly, you know.
And you also you want to also be mindful when you walk in a category. Now, this is one thing that's important as well too. When you're walking in a category, you're supposed to take that idea or the description of the category and make it your own. And of course, people want to like take something that they've seen and implement that, but like you want to take it and make it yours. So when people think of it, you know, they can go specifically to you, but you don't want to go to the immediate because again, you don't want that disrespect to happen.
And also, when in walking balls, I know when I read categories, I pick categories that fit me, you know. Not only in just because, like, they're having a ball coming in soon in New York, the Ebony Ball, and their category for New Way is an African tribe, and the African tribe, when I looked it up, they're like totally nude with all this, you know, powder and white stuff and paint on them. And you know, my body's okay, so I'm not really worried about that, but I just don't feel like being naked. I don't feel like putting on, so you pick things according to how you feel, you pick things that fit you, you know, fit your mood. That way, when you walk, also you will have a fair chance at winning. You know what I mean?
Because they see your creativity and how you took the idea and took it to a notch that I would never have thought. And that also works for you in your category too. Because if I see, again, when I talk about confidence, if your confidence out there while your outfit is on point and you walk in your category, baby, sometimes just your outfit can get you through sometimes because you owned it so much. So you got to be also like mindful of that as well too. And when your creative side goes into the category of the description and you start to add that rather than doing the norm, that's when you start to step out. That's when your name is created. Go for it, baby.
This may be a bit similar question to the former ones, but how do you feel about Vogue being like more visible in pop culture, like in music videos or films where it's spotlighted on the original Vogue culture?
That's an interesting question.
I know I got an answer for
Let's
that.
go
But
down.
I'm gonna let
Go down the line.
y'all go, 'cause I got an answer.
I love that it's reaching, that it's getting out there, you know, but what I hate is it seems like every time they put it out there, it's not the proper people doing it. They don't represent it in the best way. And so then it comes across like real, like, you know, if I feel like if they put the right representation out there, every now and then you'll see the right person out there doing it, but it's very, very rare. I feel like if they really put the right people out there, the whole damn world, and probably a couple of other worlds, would love Vogue. But it's not represented right.
Fun question, who did it best?
Huh?
Fun question, who did it best? FK Twigs, like
No, I like.
Watch out for you, Mama.
As far as me, I love it as well. I just don't appreciate the fact that they don't expand their knowledge as far as Vogue. Like when you see voguing in these videos, everybody's voguing film. There's more aspects to Vogue. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come out here, is that to represent for the old way, you know what I mean? To represent for Pop Different Spin, to let you know that it's not just Vogue film. You know what I mean? There's more aspects to Vogue.
It's just deep. If people think the Vogue is one of the element is the deep,
They don't
the
even say
main.
dip. They say the shawame
Like-
and
Death drop.
the death
Yeah.
drop.
And that's a great point, because a lot in these videos, sometimes you don't even really see voguing. You just see a couple of hands in the air and then they dip. Because straight culture and mainstream is only interested in the dip. They're not really interested in the craft. And that's what it takes people who are hired for these jobs to say, okay, can I do a little bit more than just dip? You know, do you really know what you're getting into when you're asking me to vogue? And try to bridge the gap there.
Well, I will also say this as well too. Well, Europe at one point was dominated over anyway, with everybody only knowing over
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, that's true.
The shift in Vogue Femme didn't happen until 2011, 2010, when we had the ball in Russia. The first ball, people wanted to learn Vogue Femme. But of course, people seen it, but they wanted to learn the thing of it. So that's why it's now feeling dominated with Vogue Femme. But you're right with the mass, like the media seeing just dips, because that's the most exciting thing.
Right.
And people think that that's the only thing, and it's not. Just like that wonderful lady right there last night who came out for Vogue Femme, yes, important to
didn't
you,
dip, yeah.
and
Oh,
didn't
yeah, I
dip
love
not
that.
once.
That was amazing.
And what we said is the hardest thing to do is to come out and perform for 45 seconds, because that's like the little to the most that you can get without dipping and presenting nothing but your personality and style.
And that's possible in every category. Every category. You can do OA and not dip and still win. Or you can do OA and only pose and win. It's possible.
So this is my answer to your question specifically. So, still grinds my Vogue to this day. To see when jobs get picked up and they have voguing inside like these commercials or television shows and all this other stuff, and you find out who the choreographer is, and you know who the choreographer is, but it has no experience in voguing, and they hire people who have no experience in voguing, and they teach people who have no experience in voguing, and they do stuff on television who have no experience in voguing, and they show something, and the people are like, oh my God, that looks so beautiful, but the scene looks at it like, bitch, that was so ABC Vogue or mediocre. The lines wasn't hit right. They're playing the wrong song. They're not playing the right beat. They don't got the right emotion. It's because people see something is exciting, and the first thing you want to do is go straight for it. Two things that gives us a problem within the ballroom culture for that. Number one, because it's dominated by a lesbian gay community, and a lot of people don't want to accept that within the media, mass media. Now, people do, but when you get there, they don't want to come straight to us, because now what they only see is like us fighting sometimes. That's videos out, so why do I want to go there when I could just like, okay, let me ask somebody who knows how to vote. Remember that person I was telling about earlier who comes to Europe and never been a part of the scene, become teachers of class? More than likely he'll get hired and he'll be teaching the voguing, and that's the mediocrity that was shown on television that's coming out to everyone else that think that's what it is. This is why we thought Madonna was voguing. Going on before her, way before her. So my thing is, one thing that kind of got me to a moment where kind of got like, okay, I had enough. And I remember it's 2006, and I've seen something on television, and somebody did voguing. Not one acknowledgement about the ballroom culture. Went forward, so doing more voguing. Not one acknowledgement about the ballroom culture. So where we seen a dance show, America's Best Dance Crew. Before we went on it, they was doing Leone and the Girls, and it was voguing, it was dipping. It was like, who the hell? That's not the right representation. So my thing specifically and personally was, someone needs to step in and start cutting that off and stopping that. Because if no one steps up, we're gonna sit back and complain all the time. And people are going to be in LA or New York City booking these jobs who don't know nothing about voguing or anything. So this is why, this is my personal experience, to step up within that. And it's still difficult, because I get told no still. People still think that voguing is such a weird thing. It's exciting now. It's exciting now. People are excited, but you still get the stigma that goes along with it. It's still hard for me. People don't want to book me because, number one, a lot of people don't want to book me because of this. It sucks, but they don't. Then they start to look for something that's more comfortable, so it won't come off as aggression. So this is why they come to people of a different, or someone who's familiar with. And this is why we think it's appropriation when we see someone who's never been to a ball, but they're voguing for a sickening fashion show on television, and you guys can still tell that she's not a part of the scene. Why is she doing it? So my thing was to cut that. So this is why, like, yes, I go to auditions still. I create my own stuff going on in America, because I wanted to stop where if someone is like, I need voguers, you have voguers here who are coming out of their way to make sure things are happening. Come to us. We are here. Don't go to the mediocrity. That was my thing.
Bam.
I don't want to repeat what y'all said, because y'all said everything that I did want to say. So.
It's that thing, that's how we feel. And again, and I hate to reiterate it so much, but it's just like, we're tired of seeing how people are just taking our stuff and imitating it.
And I'm tired of faking it to make it.
Yes.
Don't fake it. This is why when we come here, we telling you the real shit so you can point the girls out. Now that's where the shady side comes in.
And the next time somebody wants to, you say they want to teach you how to vogue, ask them, have you ever been to the ballroom scene? Have you ever vogued in the ballroom scene? Are you legendary in the ballroom scene? And then ask them, then why do you feel that you should teach me?
Yeah.
Just be honest, not to be shady. Just ask them, why do you feel that you should teach me?
Have an open discussion and sit them on front and ask them everything about ballroom. I'm sure you're going to get to a lot of standstills.
Exactly. Because to be honest, again, you're new. Why start off with something wrong when you know that you have the ability to get what's right?
Why you don't write a book about history of
Well, that's one of
Vogue?
my goals
It's
that I'm
in the
actually doing right now.
process.
See, I'm writing actually a book right now as well too. Was just talking about that.
That's the main thing we missing so
because
much of the history.
History.
people doesn't know the pioneers of the Vogue, the legend, the icons, because it will be forgotten.
Yeah.
I hope. I
See, that's
think.
one thing about coming international that I like. Y'all willing to learn the
Yes.
history. Y'all willing to have moments where y'all can get together to know the history. It's so hard in the U.S. trying to teach people the history because everybody feel like, oh, I already know it, or I know it my way, or this is what she told me. So it's just like, I mean, like, it's egos
I
that's
was gonna say the
stopping.
same
It's
thing.
egos that's stopping the history lessons to be learned.
A lot of people don't want to give other people credit. They want to shine on themselves. That's a problem that we're dealing with. Next question.
Yeah. Any question? Next question. Yes,
Yes.
Annalie.
How is the scene in US right now? Like, are you guys? I know, but like, are you guys having discussions like this? Are you like united? Well, united.
You think?
See how
They're like,
we can't even get the people to show up to it.
it's a
Yeah.
50-50 when it comes
Yeah,
to
it comes and goes.
Well, there's a lot of things that come into play in the U.S. You have the good and the bad, like I said. They do set up, they have discussions and things. They have, what's that, Martha Chono?
Oh, yeah, Martha from LA.
Like, they do this thing
What's
where
it
they
called
do,
again? When they do in New York?
Discussion.
Reach LA.
Reach LA.
They do this thing,
And what are we doing in,
I think it's called Reach LA. They just recently came to New York, and they have this whole ballroom
Coalition.
discussion.
It's a coalition. Sorry.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
coalition discussion.
Yeah, that. So they have that. There's a lot of stuff, like they have this in the US. I do believe that because ballroom comes from the US, particularly New York City, there's sometimes like some people take it for granted, you know. But they have it there, you know. But also there's a lot of other things that come into play when it comes to ballroom. Like New York is super expensive. And there was a time we used to have places we can get, you know, Mark Ballroom was one of them where they used to have balls a lot. It cost $5,000, you know, for the night, you know. We have our ball, boom, you done. Now, she probably costs like 40,000. No, because I looked at
For
the,
only 4 hours.
I looked at the New York hotel for a ball, like 10 to 15 years ago, and that was $30,000. So imagine now how much it costs. So that's why we can't have balls as frequently as we used to, because New York, I call it greedy. It's just greedy. So that's another thing that comes into play when it comes to, you know, the community and everything. And then you have houses, some houses who are organized, and then you have some houses who are just like, you know. So it's kind of the same, but it's different. I guess I don't know. It's the same stuff.
It's
sort of.
We just need more structure and discipline.
Yeah.
That's it.
Agreed.
Structure
It's-
and discipline.
it's and to also answer is like the, you know, you can ask how any city is doing. We're doing good and we're doing bad.
Yeah.
We're doing good because like we're getting a shift of new talent. It's always going to happen. Just know there's going to be a generation under you because you're the generation that's starting this. To be honest, I would say 4 years ago is whenever I really started it, because those faces are not here that I know who was here 5 years ago actually.
And her being the youngest, she wouldn't have a whole generation that watches her. That's gonna want to be a part.
It's the generation now is watching her. But it's just in general what happens is the ballroom is good and the ballroom is bad. There's shade, there's not shade. It's good, it's not bad. The voguing is crazy in America, but at the same time you still got good gems in the ballroom culture as well too. So it's a 50-50 always.
It feels like we're so hungry for information in Europe, and because we are young in voguing, and it just, how do we reach all the information? You know, there's nothing.
But
a
actually,
lot
do
of
we need all the information?
No, you just
Yeah,
gotta be
you-
mindful.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Europe and USA were different, because we do not have so much of the LGBTQ community. We are different. We started it different. Should it be a little more different?
Well, here's where I have to make sure that, I mean, because again, it's our job when we come out here to make sure we deliver the perfect information, the right information to you guys. Again, the ballroom culture is not only subjective to some people, you know. I know it's the difference. The difference is you do it your way. Don't do it or repeat it the way you see it being done. This is why I like Paris, and at the same time, I love it, and it's not I'm taking anything away from it, but they're doing the thing their own way. They don't care, they don't need America, they don't need anything in Europe, to be honest. They have their own thing, and I love it, and I love it, and I love it, and I love it. One thing, you don't want to just pick up those qualities. So, and at the same time, ballroom is just open for everyone, whether you are gay, whether you're straight, whether you're trans, whether you're a woman, whether you identify as a woman and you look like a man. It doesn't matter. You open it for everyone, but you have to create it for yourself so it can work out for everyone. And not just say, oh, because they don't have, you know, trans over here, so I don't think we should have trans over there. Right?
I was about to say, I was about to say on trans, because I feel like in America, like, we praises out trans women. Like, you know, we make them feel like they're special because they have to go to a lot.
Yeah.